Joining us now over the phone, our good friend,
Somehow
David
this
Nixon.
guy wasn't drafted.
4-year NFL veteran, a guy who has been in Daniel Sorensen's shoes, Ethan Manumale in his shoes, Spencer Hadley, Wani Unga, Cody Hoffman. You've been through the grind. His name is David Nixon again. And David, what is this day like? What is this time like for the BYU Cougars dealing with the stress of this all?
Man, it's obviously exciting, but it's extremely nerve-wracking. I mean, you're about to have your whole life change. I mean, you're about to be, hopefully your name's called, or if you go as a free agent, you pick where you're going, and next thing you know, you're in a completely different city, in a different state, all overnight. So it's kind of nerve-wracking, but at the same time, obviously, it's very exciting because you're ready to finally go out there and play some ball. You've been waiting the last 3-4 months, done all the workouts, done all the combines, all those things. And now it's time to finally find out your team, and then, within the next week or two, you'll be flying out for mini camps and start your OTA. So it's a pretty quick process from here, but, man, it's an exciting time.
Speaking of exciting time, I want to apologize for Spencer. He buried the lead.
Oh, stop
Tell
it.
us about Nathan David Nixon.
Man, the guy's a little stud.
You had a baby.
I had a little baby boy last Saturday. It's almost been a week. My wife was a champion. She did great throughout the whole thing, and he's a cute little guy. I do have to brag a little bit. He was born at 7 pounds 11 ounces, my exact same weight when I was born.
Okay.
And my wife's the exact same weight. Pretty wild. We're all 7'11". But
You both don't weigh the same now.
No, definitely not. I am obese and she's very skinny. So, but we went in for our 4-day checkup yesterday, and most babies lose weight their first couple weeks. No, don't worry. My baby boy, he gained 5 ounces.
Wow. Okay, so he's a big eater. All right.
Listen, creatine is not recommended for children, David.
It's not?
Oh, boy.
I've got my wife on protein whey shakes every day. Trying to keep that stuff going.
David
Honey,
Nixon
you'll
on
recover
BYU
quicker.
Sports Nation. So we talked to your buddy Brian Keel the other day, and his wife Jessica is due to have a baby boy if she hasn't already.
I haven't heard if they
we haven't
haven't
heard
or
news. Perhaps
I haven't heard either. I don't think they have
Okay,
yet.
so
but,
she's
close.
due literally any minute to deliver their baby boy. He said that you have already planned a 2013 Nixon Kill reunion BYU football-wise in coming up. Like you've already committed them to BYU. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, we've already signed. Talked to Bronco. We've
You've
already signed
signed
the letter.
already. Not just verbal, you've signed.
Yeah, we signed. We decided to get over the process. It's these days it gets pretty drug out, so we decided to just get straight to it.
The question is, will they both play linebacker? At AZ BYU fan Mitch said, will the Hill-Nixon future Cougar play offense or defense?
It's a great question. I think Kills will need to play defense because he had no hands when he played. But my boy can be more versatile. He can play offense or defense, so we'll see.
How about your sister Emily and Taysom in the future whenever they had kids? Guaranteed quarterback?
Yeah, you would think so. With Taysom's physique, yeah, that kid should play quarterback or shoot. He can play anything. But they need to get on the train here soon. They were up here actually a couple days ago hanging out, and you could tell they're already thinking baby. So
Wow.
They need to hurry up. He'll be
Listen.
a year behind maybe our guy, but
He needs to
we'll
think
see.
about the
We'll see.
season. Off-season conditioning. There are more important things right now.
Hey,
David
I'm
Nixon.
going to be in trouble. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, you. Wow. but we love that you went there so much.
Taysom Hill
Nixon.
insider David Nixon.
Yeah, on BYU Sports Station. I'm not sure where
Only
to go now.
at BYU, man. only at BYU.
Okay, our Twitter question today, David, is who will be the second BYU player taken in the 2014 NFL Draft? We're assuming Kyle Van Noy is going to go in the second or third round. We think that's going to happen. So we'll talk
That
about
will
Kyle in
happen.
just a moment. But who's going to be the second player drafted from BYU?
Man, it's a great question. Obviously, so much is up in the air at this point. And I think a lot of people think Cody Hoffman, but my understanding is you guys just had Daniel Sorensen on. That's actually who I think will go next. I'm confident with his skills. You look at it, basically past the first, second, and third round, anybody drafted from the fourth round and on, coaches are really looking into coming and contribute on special teams. Most of those guys aren't going
That's exactly what Daniel
to be starters. Your first, second, third round guys most likely are going to be starters. They're looking for you to come contribute right away. But the later round guys, they're looking at you as a special teams player first and foremost, and then of course, hopefully they can develop you and you can contribute eventually. So with that being said, the most upside as the special teamers go, it's definitely Daniel Sorensen. I mean, you look at his plays last year. He obviously a great safety, but he was fantastic on punt,
unbelievable
fantastic on kickoffs. Yeah, it really was, and I guarantee you, teams. I mean, they noticed that, and that's something obviously very important to them when they're looking at those later rounds. And he had an unbelievable combine. He got that hype as time kind of went on. He caught that wave, and that's obviously huge. Is to kind of have that hype leading up to the draft, and then you add on the fact that this year's kind of a safety-heavy draft, and so a lot of the DBs and safeties have kind of already gone the first round, which bodes well for him. So I think as the rounds kind of move on, hopefully there'll be a call for him. Regardless, he's going to land somewhere. He's going to get an opportunity. And to be honest, it's actually better to go as a free agent come like the 6th and 7th rounds because you get to pick where you want to go. And oftentimes, you get drafted in the 7th round to a team that's already got 2 Pro Bowl safeties, and next thing you know, there's no way you're getting a true shot. They just kind of want to have you come in, look at you. We'll see, because they're only they're only going at $30,000 for your signing bonus or whatever it is. So they're not really putting a lot in the pot into you. But if you can pick your team, you can really look at it. Oh, well, they've got 2 safeties that are 35 or they're older guys. There might be a shot here in the next year or two. So the whole draft thing's crazy. There's a lot that goes into it. Your agent hopefully is working hard for you, and he's looking at all those numbers. But the thing is that Daniel and Ethan and Spencer and Cody got to do right now is just relax. I remember my draft days. I think I was out hanging out with the family, and we were just doing our normal stuff. And I just obviously had my phone next to me. But if you get too caught up in it, it'll drive you crazy.
David Nixon is on BYU Sports Nation. If you played on the 2013 BYU football team and then you were in this NFL draft, would you be drafted? And if so, where?
That's a great question. I've said this a few times. I like to think I would be drafted for the fact that this BYU team, I mean, just the publicity they've had, being on ESPN, all the scouts, and all the general managers across the country get to see these athletes, the BYU athletes, almost week in and week out. And you go back to our day, and we were on the mountain, and I think probably like 100 people had that channel.
The channel that shall not be named.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that doesn't exist. But I would think so. I would hope so. But to be honest, I wouldn't change anything about my whole draft situation. I went as a free agent, went to Oakland, and it worked out great. But there's no doubt that it was BYU playing on national television and playing big time opponents in Wisconsin and Notre Dame. There's no question that this allows them to be watched more and hopefully at the end of the day get drafted and find a team.
David Nixon on BYU Sports Nation. He played for 5 NFL teams. The new father of Nathan David Nixon. We wish our congratulations again to you for that, David. Let's talk about Kyle Van Noy. We feel like he has a great shot to go in the 2nd round. In fact, I'm leaning towards the Seattle Seahawks. Where do you see Kyle Van Noy going in the NFL draft?
Kyle and I talked just a few weeks ago at Taysom Emily's wedding. We were chatting for quite a while about it, and he was saying how he'd been working out. And I asked him, I was like, man, you're looking big. What are you weighing these days? He was 250 plus.
Whoa!
And I was blown away. I said, you're kidding me. And he said, man, I just continue to put on weight. I'm working hard, and a lot of these 3-4 teams are looking at me as an inside backer. And, of course, 250 range is where you need to be if you're an inside backer in those schemes. And so he had put on weight. He says he's still moving well. And, man, it was noticeable. He looked great. And so with that being said, he said he talked to quite a few teams. I think he goes to the Washington Redskins, which is a 3-4 team. They're familiar with BYU players. Brian Kill's been on their team the last few years. And I think he goes there as an inside linebacker. With that being said, he's a player that can really play anywhere. In BYU scheme in the 3-4, he play on the outside. But most likely in the NFL, those outside guys are much bigger. You got Aldon Smith, you got DeMarcus Ware, those type of guys. But the good thing about the BYU players, I mean, I went and played in a 4-3 as an outside linebacker, where I played outside linebacker in a 3-4, and so in college. So you can really bounce around anywhere, and I think coaches realize that with the players at BYU, especially linebackers, that we can kind of bounce around and play any position. So I think the draft board's open for him. I think any team could pick him up. But my guess is the Redskins. But who knows? I mean, there's 32 teams. He's a great enough player that I think any team will try to snag him up. It's just all comes down to timing.
Interesting. And if he's being looked at as an inside linebacker, that opens things up quite a bit.
Absolutely.
We've kind of just been focusing on the outside linebacker. But Kelly Poppinga was on the show yesterday and told us that Wani Unga was not expected to play in the Fight Hunger Bowl and that Kyle Van Noy was training at an inside linebacker position. That's interesting. So if you think the Redskins, you think he's either the second pick in the second round or the second pick in the third round? Maybe the third round. Does that sound about right for the placement for Van Noy?
I think so, but to be honest, I think he's worthy of a second-round pick. I mean, I think he's worked his way up. Also on the boards, he had a great showing at the Senior Bowl, had a great combine. I mean, I think teams see the value they'll get in Kyle, his playmaking ability. And so I think the option to go there in the second round is definitely there. And I think he probably will go second round. I mean, watching Redskins, that's just kind of just guessing per se. But I think he'll go second round. You look at Mel Kiper, the ESPN guru. He's got him as his fifth best player available. So if that stands true, he should be drafted here in the next 32 picks.
David Nixon on BYU Sports Nation. We talked about Daniel Sorensen and Kyle Van Noy. When you look at guys that have an outside shot like Ethan Manu-Maleuna and Cody Hoffman and Spencer Hadley, do you feel like any of those three will have their name called in the 7th-round draft?
Knowing kind of history, especially with linebackers myself as a free agent, I see probably Spencer going as a free agent, especially with kind of the injuries he had towards the end of the year and, issues. But Ethan, kind of same deal. Look at Romney Fuga, who is obviously a great nose tackle for BYU, and he went as an undrafted free agent. So I think, most likely the guys that will be able to get drafted in late rounds will probably be Daniel and possibly Cody. But other than that, I think the rest of the guys will get shots all in camps as a free agent. So that's all you need. All you need is that shot, and that's what I had. I had the shot, and I fortunately took advantage of it and was able to make the squad my rookie year. But it's just getting your foot in that door. And once again, I was telling Daniel Sorensen this, and I've told a couple other players, look, the day you get there, all you got to do is hustle. Because in the NFL, a lot of guys are pretty lazy. If you can go out there and show the D coordinator or offensive coordinator, whatever position you are, that you're going to hustle, you're going to go after every ball. It shows up on film because most of the guys are kind of jogging around. Where if you can fly around, go full speed, they'll take notice. And that's what happened my rookie year. And I think that's one of the main reasons I made the team. And that's what I've told those guys. And that's what Coach Mendenhall preaches. And so it's already kind of ingrained in them. And now I just got to go out there and do it.
David Nixon is on BYU Sports Nation. Cody Hoffman, after his junior season, had he come out, it seems like he would have been a draft pick. Now, not so sure. Maybe Saturday. Doesn't look like it's going to happen tonight. Where do you see Cody Hoffman possibly getting drafted?
Yeah, that's tough. You brought up a good point. His numbers definitely slumped his senior year. He had the new offensive scheme with Coach Anai and with Taysom as quarterback. I think if he were to get drafted, it'd be your 6th or 7th round guy. The good thing Cody's got going for him, he's got the size. He's 6'4", 225. I mean, he's a big kid. His speed, didn't fare well for him at the combine, speed wise, but he's got the size and a team that values that, a team that needs a big red zone receiver. I think would go after him because obviously Cody has shown on the film that he's able to make big plays. So I think he'd be a late round guy, but once again, it's tough. I remember whenever the draft was going on for me, teams start calling you in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, and it plays games with your mind because they say, hey, look, we're taking you next round. I had 4 teams call me since starting the 4th round. They said, we're taking you with our next pick. Sure enough, the next pick comes along, they take somebody else. And they call you right back, and they're saying, hey, we really apologize. Somebody else popped up on our board. We had to get a DB, whatever it was. And what they do, and I didn't know at the time until after the draft was over, but what they're doing basically is just trying to kind of lure you along because once you become a free agent, you get to pick where you want to go. And so basically what they were doing was they're trying to kind of court you. They're trying to recruit you by acting like they had a ton of interest in you. And then whenever you become a free agent, you pick where you want to go. And they were hoping you'd pick them because they were calling you since the 4th round. And so, like I said earlier, I mean, the best you can do is keep a level head, wait for your call. If it doesn't come, you talk to your agent and find out what's the best situation for you. which one do you have the best opportunity of making the team on, and go with it. So I think a lot of it's speculation, and it's hard to get wrapped up in it because, man, it's stressful because your whole life depends on this draft. But once again, it's a fun time. You just gotta kind of roll with the punches.
David Nixon, we appreciate the time. Congratulations again on your new baby boy, Nathan David Nixon. Enjoy fatherhood. Enjoy the draft.
Changing diapers.
And we'll talk to you soon.
We'll do it. Thanks, guys.